Your standards are too high. Well, those standards protect me from low quality experiences, and that's why I'm not afraid to say no.
That's all good, dear. However, the line between high standards and delusional is quite blurry. I'm inclined to say most modern women are in the latter.
People are like, Brittany, you're gonna hit the wall. You're going to be ugly. And it's like, joke's on you. I already was ugly growing up, so I already know what it's like to be ugly and undesirable. Thank you.
Well, that's unfortunate if she really thinks that way. However, ugly women are still better at getting attention from the opposite sex than average men. Additionally, hypergamy affects all women, not just the pretty ones. So the problem of hitting the wall really affects everyone. Besides, 99% of women at the ages of 18 to 28 are pretty attractive. Unless there's an obvious deformity, these women aren't going to have a hard time finding a random simp to love them. I think this chick's just trying to get attention. She's fishing for compliments.
It got worse. No. But I feel like it's about to get...
That's the thing with dating when you've hit the wall. It gets worse. Surprisingly, the opposite happens with men. The more women a man dates, the more success he'll get. That's why it's so awesome to be a man, especially when you've put in all the hard work on yourself. It sucks in the beginning because you're a nobody, but once you get things going for you, it's much easier.
I want to hear about your first date fails. I'll go first. I walk up to a bar where the guy I'm meeting is waiting outside for me, and before I even say hi, I had to wipe this idiot's nose off. I figured, I just drove 35 minutes for this bullshit. I need a drink or two.
She went on a date with someone sniffling.
Hopefully I can bear sitting through chugging 1 or 2 drinks, and that is what I did very quickly. Then I went to go smoke a cigarette. That was going to be my out, but the guy just wanted to be such a gentleman that he came outside with me. And I was like, ooh. So when I was done, I just turned around and walked away. And he screams, really? And I turned around with a big ass smile and I was like, really? Dating is so much fun.
Well, firstly, if you're a guy and you're really sick, just don't go on a date. Tell them politely what you're going through, then plan for a reschedule. If they think you're ghosting them and that you're just bailing out and you really like this girl, send them a video of you blowing your nose. That's gonna convince them. Add a funny caption like, I hope you have a snot fetish or something along those lines to break the awkwardness. If they don't respond or if they can't understand your situation, then that's not a relationship you would want to be in anyway.
Why do men have this irrational fear that women are going to use them for money that they don't have? Like, sir, you have lawn chairs in your living room.
Because it doesn't matter to women. Just as long as they can benefit from the guy, they're ready to take away anything and everything he has. Has this chick never seen any divorce court hearing? Has she been living under a rock all this time? Men get imprisoned for not being able to pay. Their reputation ruined. Everything they worked for, gone. That's how badly the system treats men. And here's the funny thing. I'm sure this woman knows why. She's just asking this question to shame men.
Okay, so this week I have been having my kiddos write down their Christmas list. And today one of them looks at me and said, Miss Ashley, what do you want for Christmas? And me and my joking self, and plus I just finished watching Game of Thrones. So I was like, I think I want a dragon so I can fly me around, wherever I want to go when I want to travel. And he was like, Miss Ashley, this is serious. Be realistic. So I was like, okay, I want a boyfriend. Can you get me one of those?
Nope.
And he goes, what do you want to name your dragon?
I'm sure that happened. Yes, that definitely happened.
Here's a little bit of dating advice. Ladies, you need to be paying more attention to his acorns. Those saggy little apricots, those hanging beans, those family jewels. Pay more attention to them and you will not regret it.
I remember Kevin Samuel saying this. The foundation of every working relationship is sex. Without sex, it's over. Remember that, gentlemen.
Went on my second first date of 2023, and it wasn't a bad date, but it wasn't great. In order to keep me in the dating game, every time I go on a first date, it's not fantastic, I buy myself a gift. Bought myself some new candles.
Hey, best of luck. The pink hair isn't a very good sign though, so maybe switch over to black. I think that'll get you more success, ma'am.
I went on a first date this morning with this guy who is visiting this tiny island that I live on in the Pacific Northwest. And he has a family thing, and he asked me if I wanted to link up after it's done. Does this mean he's trying to come over to hook up?
No, I believe he was trying to see if you can be the cable to his Wi-Fi adapter. Yes, lady, he's trying to hook up. This is the problem with women. They act all innocent and pretend they don't know anything because they've gotten away with it in the past.
Dudes that will ruin your life. Any dude named Kyle. All Matts. Anyone named Chad, or anyone with a name that ends with ad. All variations of Zachary.
This is definitely not coming from experience, right?
I'm 34 years old, and I am not ashamed of my age by any means. But I was out at the bar last night, and a guy who's maybe about not even 10 years younger than me.
Not even 10 years younger? That's the copest cope statement I've ever heard.
Bumps into me, and I'm looking, my best. He bumps into me and says, "Excuse me, ma'am." I'd rather you just call me a whore, say "excuse me" than ma'am.
Sorry, ma'am. Us men, we're just trying to be respectful to our elders.
Anybody else in this really weird stage of your life where you're simultaneously really, really happy being on your own and being single for once, but you also really, really want a relationship, and you love your job and really want to continue making advances in your career, but you also kind of just want to quit your job and go travel the world, and you really...
Gentlemen, listen up. This is one type of women you should avoid. The highly indecisive ones. I know. But Redfield guy, aren't all girls like that? Nope. Women who cannot decide on anything and everything are walking, talking red flags. These women will navigate their world using their feelings. Yesterday, she likes you, and you have great sex. Piss her off, and tomorrow, you could be a grapist. Not fun.
When someone ghosts you right after you've asserted a boundary, the ghosting is clearly in response to the boundary. When you say, "No, I'm not coming to your house on a second date for dinner," and they ghost you, it's because you asserted a boundary. Speaking of red pill echo chamber myths, there is a misconception in that comment section that is being expressed by the men who were offended by that video. They all seem to think that women will compromise and should compromise their boundaries and standards for men that they find especially attractive, meaning that they do not believe a woman is fully interested in them unless she is compromising her standards and boundaries for him. And if that...
Yes, and yes. Women make rules for betas, but break them for alphas. This happens all the time. I don't usually do this. Yeah, if you hear that from her, that usually means she's deemed you high value enough she's willing to compromise her boundaries. Again. Women navigate the world through emotions. They don't care about facts and logic. Or the other situation could be, this woman has hit the wall and she's trying not to come off as easy because she's ready to leave her 304 face in the past. If she likes you, she might just delay sex from you because she doesn't want to come off too strong and lose you. Good lord, I know it's complicated. I didn't invent any of the shit either. I just play the game. Sorry boys, I can only guide you.
Okay, so another failed date. This guy at work was like, "Hey, let's hang out after work, let's go get drinks." I was like, sure. So we get to the bar and he doesn't have his ID. So then he tries arguing with the bouncer and he's like, "Hey, like they know me here, they'll let me in." So we had to stand on the sidewalk while he called the manager trying to get into the bar. It was awkward. We get inside the bar, he does not have his wallet, so I pay for the drinks. I have many drinks because it was not going well. And not proud of this, but due to those many drinks, I was like, sure, let's go back to your place. So we get there, he keeps his keys under the mat because he doesn't want to lose them. And instead of having sex, we end up having a therapy session for both of us. Drunk therapy.
This is exactly what I was talking about when women break rules for alphas. Do you think a girl that looks like this would put up with some random loser? No, of course not. That's because she deemed the guy high value enough. She had all of these buffers before she got pissed at him. The date was a complete catastrophe. Yet she still came home with him. She even seemed disappointed that they didn't have sex and instead had a drunk therapy session. Again, women navigate the world through an emotional lens.
I'm 30 and I'm single, and something that I quickly had to learn while dating at my 30s is that 30 or plus year old men would much rather date women that are on their early 20s than women that are 30 or plus years old. And I think the reason for that is because when you turn 30, you hit this wall where you don't take the same shit that you used to take while you were in your 20s.
No, you're just not as attractive anymore. That's why. Jesus, the cope on these women is incredible. If mental gymnastics was in the Olympics, this woman would probably win gold.
So I just came from a first date, and I'm just gonna sum it up. It went well, right? But how he ended the day is just like, it's not much, but I love food. So this just really spoke to me. So as we were saying goodbye, he's like, did you enjoy your food? And I was like, yes, I did. I'm gonna be hungry in an hour though. And he's like, okay, I'll send you some food to your house so you won't have to spend your own money. Helping me save money on food already, and you putting food in my belly? That's a love language for me in its own. I'm already in love. So I just came from date number 2, and it just keep getting better. And then he ghosted me.
I can only infer what happened. She got used to the treatment, not knowing he was testing her. Fell right into the trap and expected him to do it all the time. Bam! High value man gone.
Here's the thing. If you become a divorced mother in your mid to late 30s, I want you to recognize that you are going to witness other women who are similar to you, who are snagging the young bucks, okay? They are robbing the cradle. They're getting the guys who were barely alive when 9/11 happened. And that's all fine and dandy. But I'm here to tell you, as one of those bitches, that it's not all that it's chalked up to be, okay? It's actually not all that great. I mean, my family is harassing me left and right, asking what I'm doing, wondering why I look so old standing next to this little baby boy. I mean, I got humbled real quick this morning when my mom called and said that she made me an appointment to get Botox so I don't look so old next to him. This is just the
Hey, Redfields guy. If women aren't interested in young men, why are all these young bucks getting action from older women? Let me explain something to you, young gentlemen. When a woman is in her early 20s, she's at the peak of her sexual market value. Men simp for her all the time, and she pays no attention to them. Heck, she's got too many options. What she's really eyeing are the older, more seasoned gentlemen with years of experience. The 35s to 40s old foxes. That's what they're after. Meanwhile, you in your early 20s, you've got nothing going on for you. You're young, handsome, but you're on the sidelines. That's all fine and dandy. Let's say you worked on yourself and managed to reach your peak SMV at 40. And then you meet this chick that used to ignore you when you were in your 20s. You guys are both in your 40s. Let's say she's a divorced mother with 2 kids, or she's still single at 40. You guys might have come to the same school and you're both at the same age, but your SMVs couldn't be more different. Yours is higher than hers now. The tables have turned. Naturally, she'd want you now, but she ignored you. And now you can get the younger ladies, the ones in their peak SMVs. So what option does she have left? Hit on the younger bucks that match with her SMV. He's young, handsome, he's got nothing going on for him. Probably don't even have gas money, but he'll do. Why does this happen? Because women are supremely keenly aware of how social dynamics work. They're immensely aware that their value is going down the longer they stay single. So instead of coming to terms with this hard pill to swallow, they would rather date younger, hot guys who've got nothing going on for them. We can discuss this for hours. Anyway, if you're interested to learn more about this, the man who really talked about this early before the red pill movement started getting steam was Rollo Tomasi. I don't agree with everything he says, but he discusses this in depth with great accuracy.
I want to talk about being single and wanting to be loved. I'm currently on a trip on my own in Costa Rica, and something really amazing happened to me today. I'm coming towards the end of my trip and I'm getting a little bit in my feels, and I made a video, it's a couple of videos back, talking about rejection and the fact that I started this year experiencing lots of different rejections, both personally and professionally. Some of those were, of course, in the world of dating, and it just made me think, God, is this ever going to happen for me? Now, I talk a lot about being single and being happy, and I think that no one is perpetually happy. No one is happy 100% of the time. It's just not possible. However, in general, I'm incredibly happy because I just don't want to settle. I know the kind of relationship that I want, and so I'm willing to hold out for that relationship.
She knows what kind of relationship she wants. So she's willing to hold out for that kind of relationship. Something tells me she doesn't know what kind of relationship she wants.
Oh God, dating is a freaking disaster. It's not a place you actually want to be in your 50s.
They all go for the younger women. So my dating puddle, even though I think I'm pretty smart and I'm not bad looking, and I am as invisible to, I'd say, 70% of the men.
So it goes to show, when women get older, their dating pool decreases. Time is on our side as men, and time is not on women's side.
This is one of the prettiest women I've ever seen. Now, she's hit the wall, and even someone as pretty as her is struggling. The guy in the suit is correct. Men age like wine. Women age like milk.
Nowadays, you see women waiting. They're waiting. Well, I want to focus on my career. I want to focus on my degree. I want to be successful. Nothing wrong with that. But what happens is they get to 30 and they have an epiphany. They're like, oh shit, I got to hurry up.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had a guest on here, I won't say the name,
Timeline.
35 years old, childless, no husband. You're at that, we call it hitting the wall.
Yeah.
And then they become negative around it and start saying men are shitty, men are douchebags. And then they get in their 40s and they end up on TikTok talking shit at 40 years old, which is pointless, right? What did you do in your 20s? And this is another thing. It's interesting on planning. Watch this, Sean. And I know you get this. You talk to men, you say plan. You counsel women, plan. I ask a woman on the show, what's your 2 to 5 year plan? I don't know. You don't know.
But yet you want a quality man.
You're 35 years old.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that. I can sympathize with the women on this. It's harsh. Women have such short timelines to pick from between family and career. Meanwhile, men have such a long time to go through and still have kids even at their 70s. We all have crosses to bear though. Men's lives are insanely difficult since childhood. Women's lives, on the other hand, are easier. Anyway, the point of this video is to show you how quicker women hit the wall than men, and how they're going to manipulate you into thinking you're weird for not liking their expired SMVs. Don't fall for the trap, boys. Focus on yourselves. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching.